Hey guys, what's up? Sermo11 here. I've done a multitude of Nintendo Switch 2 discussions. Please check them out. They are just all the previous videos that were uploaded, so just go to the newest videos and check them out. But today I'll be talking about games I would like to see on Nintendo Switch 2. I'm looking at my list here. There's there's two that are kind of already on the system, but they could be expanded in certain ways that would make them better experiences. So, starting off with my personal biggest one, Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts has a weird relationship with other, I would say like with consoles and handhelds in general. For some reason, they will release like Kingdom Hearts on, let's say like Game Boy Advance or DS or cell phones in Japan, and it's just kind of like all over the place. I don't know why they did this, but they put all the games together. Mostly. I believe the content in the mobile game. Do I still have that downloaded? I don't think I have it downloaded anymore. But the mobile game they had, that one, I think there's like a movie or something in the collection, but it's not everything. So you need the mobile game too if you want the full story. But mostly everything is in a collection that goes on sale pretty often, and it's called Kingdom Hearts: The Story So Far, I think. Let me see. Kingdom Hearts it's called Kingdom Hearts: The Story So Far. So it's basically most of the series. So I think that that definitely would be something good to have on the Nintendo Switch 2. I personally, I've said, like, if Kingdom Hearts came to Nintendo Switch 1 natively, I would buy it day one. You know, if it's $60, I'll pay $60. But I also think, like, Square games go on sale. I love Kingdom Hearts, but it's kind of like, this might go down to like 40, 25 or something, I know it goes pretty cheap on other consoles, so who knows. Some companies are kind of weird with Nintendo. They're not gonna make the game that cheap on Nintendo sometimes. But I think the Kingdom Hearts would be a great thing on Nintendo Switch 2, and I think it'll do well. For Nintendo Switch 1, they did like cloud editions of the games, which didn't make sense for a lot of them, because a lot of them are old games, like PS2 games or PS3 games, PSP games, 3DS games, DS games. It didn't really make any sense for most of those to be cloud editions. I think maybe Kingdom Hearts 3 could have ran on there too with some work. I didn't buy the cloud editions. I like Kingdom Hearts. I don't like it that much. I thought the cloud editions ran mostly fine. It seemed like there might have been like a little stutter or something. Like something seemed like a little off for a little bit there, but overall for the few minutes, I think it was like a demo period or something that I played them, they seemed fine. But I like Kingdom Hearts. I haven't played all the games, but having them all on Nintendo Switch, having them being like handheld and stuff like that, I think that would be great, and I would love to experience the ones I played before and experience the ones I haven't played. Moving on to Genshin Impact. I think Genshin Impact was announced like 3 or 4 years for Nintendo Switch. Never came out, might never come out. Perhaps they couldn't get it to run on Switch, but if that's true, I think they should have been honest about that and spoken about that. But if you email them, they're kind of weird with information, so I don't know. I'm kind of like a Genshin Impact fan, like outside looking in. I played a little bit of it. I downloaded it on my computer just to see how it is on the computer. It's a very beautiful, pretty looking game, but I'm kind of the type of person where it's like, even though I can access something on another system or something like that, I want to play it on Nintendo. I will wait however long it takes to get a port on Nintendo before I play it on a computer. I don't like playing games on a computer in the first place. I think I used to be fine with playing games on a phone, But now we're starting to reach a point where there are console-like experiences on mobile. So that would be like your Genshin Impacts and other games like that. We're starting to reach a point where they're like console-like experiences on mobile. And while that's good for people who just have a cell phone, you know, might be people in other countries and stuff who mainly play games on mobile. I know they have like their own like League of Legends. There's an official League of Legends, but there's also like copycat MOBAs and stuff like that. Maybe copycat's not the right term, but you know, like there are other games like that that are on phones and stuff. So people play this stuff on their phones. Some people play stuff on phones like all day. Some people like their phone is their main console. So you know, there are many ways for people to get into gaming and everything like that. So, but I like Genshin Impact. I want to get into the franchise. I know they're doing an anime. I know they have all these like cinematic trailers and stuff like that. I want to deep dive into it. I just kind of like, you know, let's do the game first on Switch, and then I'll get into it. I got into Overwatch a while back, and I went back on YouTube and I watched every cinematic for Overwatch, and I was like, oh, this is actually really interesting. I think they should do a show like Arcane and stuff like that. So, you know, I'm down to go back and watch all of these Genshin Impact trailers and cinematics and stuff like that. When they pop up on my feed, I do skip them because I want to get into the game first. And I know I probably missed out on a lot of free stuff by not really playing it as much. But yeah, I'm not that far into Genshin Impact. I have like a few characters. I'm sure they'll have a way to like transfer your account or something like that. So I'll just mainly play on Nintendo Switch 2 because I'm sure Genshin Impact is coming. Honkai Star Rail, you know, just kind of like all the Hoyoverse games, Zenless Zone Zero as well. I think I have the most hours in Honkai Star Rail. I'm not too sure, that might be incorrect, but yeah, I like this one. It's turn-based. I think it looks better than Genshin Impact. Very fashionable. All their games very fashionable, very like pretty graphics and stuff like that. Nice art. So I like this one. The story started to get a little confusing. I'm not going to get too into that. I don't want to spoil anything, but just kind of weird. And I noticed like a similar concept appears in like Zenless Zone Zero. So that was kind of weird. If you know what I'm talking about, if not, I'll leave a comment or something if you ask about it. Zenless Zone Zero. This one must look really good because it doesn't look good on the phone. And maybe it doesn't look good on my phone because it's kind of old now, but I know this one. I noticed this doesn't look amazing on the phone, so maybe my phone's too old because I don't think they would release something that looks kind of like on phones or whatever. It's not horrible; it just could look better. But I played this one as well. I like this one. It's different. You know, I like that they try to make each one of these different and everything. So I'm down to like deep dive into all of these. I know Genshin Impact is fairly long at this point. I would imagine that Honkai Star Rail and Zenless Zone Zero are probably shorter. So definitely interested in checking those out. Wuthering Waves. I think Wuthering Waves has a similar concept to the thing that I saw in Honkai and Zenless. So if you played all three, hopefully that'll help you understand what I'm talking about. But again, just another like game like this. These games are all similar in a way. I'm definitely interested in playing more of Wuthering Waves. I've played a little bit of it. Seems pretty cool so far. I don't really have too deep of thoughts on these. I don't know if I checked out all the dialogue for Wuthering Waves. Sometimes these games they do talk a lot, which, you know, like if I'm playing like a normal playthrough, I'm not going to skip through, but I'm not sure if I skipped any dialogue in this because sometimes they can go on and on and on, and I'm not complaining about that because I like the story. Give me the story, but you know, I'm not sure if I skipped some dialogue in that or not. Infinity Nikki, this one was recent. This one also doesn't look that good on my phone. I'm not going to blame the company. I think that might just be like an old phone thing. This one's a dress-up game. So I guess, you know, like, it's intended more so for girls to play. Or I guess it's a dress-up franchise, and they made like an open world sort of thing. I liked what I played so far, but again, put it out on consoles, and I'll probably play more of it. Also, these games are huge, so I'd like to have them on a console so I can delete them off my phone because they're taking up a lot of space. Any type of Tales of game, Tales of Arise is probably the big one, the most recent one. I'd like to see that on Nintendo Switch 2, but also there were a few on like PS4, like PS3 that aren't on Nintendo. I'd like to see those. I know they're like doing like remakes or remasters. I think remasters for the anniversary of the franchise or something like that. But I don't think they're going to release that many games. I'm thinking like three or something. Like I think some people are expecting like a bunch of games, and it takes a while to like work on video games. So, I just like to see more of the Tales of games. I've only played Tales of the Abyss, but I really liked it. I have Tales of Vesperia, and I have Tales of Symphonia, and I want to get Tales of Graces whenever it goes on sale, and I'm sure it'll go on sale at some point, so I'd like to get that. But yeah, there's definitely a few. There's like, I don't want to get the names wrong, but it was like Tales of, I don't know, there's like a pirate one, this one starts with a Z or something. I'm talking about those. Naruto Strikers, this is an online Naruto game. I don't know why this isn't on Nintendo Switch, but it's on PlayStation, I believe. I'm sure it's on PC. I don't know that much about this game, but I want to play it because it's a Naruto multiplayer game, and I love Naruto. So please put it out on Nintendo Switch 2, or put it out on Nintendo Switch. But maybe the company saw like, oh, there's no reason to put this out, or it might not do well. I don't know, but they released like all the Naruto Storm games, so why would this be a problem? Please put it out there. I'm gonna look at my list and see if I didn't write this one down. Marvel Rivals, I think that would be cool. Marvel Rivals is pretty good, or pretty big right now. I'm not gonna say it's pretty good because I haven't played that much of it. I didn't really love what I played. It felt like just like a Overwatch sort of thing. I already like Overwatch. It's kind of hard to jump into another game like this and find a character you like. So that's kind of my issue, but my friends have kind of like left Overwatch behind and kind of moved on to Marvel Rivals. And I don't know, people have issues with Overwatch and stuff like that. I think it gets kind of strange when people like still complaining about like, you promised the story mode, it's not out. This new character looks dumb, like it's kind of like obviously they promised something, they did not do it, which is uncool. But just kind of like keeping the hate going for like years, and like some people still talk about like the launch of Overwatch 2 is like, man, the launch was horrible, I couldn't get in. It's like, well, you can get into the game now. Did that experience like ruin your life? I don't get it. So just kind of strange. But the one thing I can commend Marvel Rivals on versus Overwatch is like they add characters more consistently. Someone told me they're trying to add characters monthly or something, so I mean that's pretty cool. Overwatch, I think Overwatch is more well thought out, and obviously Marvel has like a huge roster of characters to choose from, so like they're never gonna run out of content for that game. Whereas Overwatch, I feel like the characters are more thought out, like, hey, how would this character work in this world? Or like we see these characters in previous trailers and previous trailers or previous Overwatch content, and it's like, oh, this character's finally coming. Remember this character that used to be part of Overwatch? Well, they're finally coming to the game, stuff like that. I do wish they put out characters more often, but I feel like Overwatch has more polish than Marvel Rivals, and outside looking in. But I played Overwatch on my Switch. I also played it on the Xbox, and then I played Marvel Rivals on my computer. I have a, I don't know, like the tiers and stuff like that. I have a gaming PC. It can play games. I haven't really had any issues so far, but some things might need to be played in like a lower mode or something like that. It really depends on the game. So, all those PC people out there, take that little bit of knowledge and tell me if my computer is good or not. but I don't think Marvel Rivals looked amazing on my computer. And maybe that's just because the computer's it's not an older computer, but maybe it's not the best for gaming necessarily. So yeah, we have that. Valorant, it's in the League of Legends universe, right? I just want it on Switch. That's not really something I necessarily want to play, but I just think like, hey, let's put these experiences on as many consoles as we can. So yeah. Tekken 8. I haven't really played that much of Tekken, but it would be cool to have a Tekken on there. I watched the video on the Tekken story. I like the Tekken story. It's a little repetitive, I've noticed. I don't know if they left out some details and stuff, but it seems a little repetitive. But it's cool. It's a cool story. And, I just think like, hey, we need to get as many third-party experiences on the Nintendo Switch 2 as possible. Street Fighter 6 is coming. Why not Tekken? The Sims. I don't know why The Sims wasn't on the Switch already. I think they recently did it was like a Sims that was on Wii or something. That's coming, or it's already on Switch. And I'm sure EA was like surprised. It was like, wow, this did well on Switch. We thought the Switch sucked. Because it was at like the top of the store or something, the eShop. So, surprise, surprise, people like The Sims. Put the regular Sims on there. I can see this being on Switch and Switch 2, but who knows what they're going to do. Also, the Switch 2 has a mouse control, so you can do whatever you want with the mouse. Final Fantasy 16 and Final Fantasy 15. I just played the demo for Final Fantasy 16. I didn't get that far into it, but it's a very beautiful looking game, and I was interested in the story and everything. I know a channel I watch kind of complains that Final Fantasy has changed since they made it more action based, but I liked what I played. I'm not super into RPG turn based gameplay, and I know I've mentioned a lot of RPGs, but a lot of these are action RPGs and stuff. I like Pokemon and Mario and Luigi and Paper Mario, but sometimes other stuff, when we start to get too classic with it, that's where I'm we have a bunch of different options and stuff, and yeah, that's where you kind of lose me. So stuff like that I prefer, Nintendo as far as that goes. I want to see Final Fantasy 15. 14 would be cool too. I'm probably never going to play that. That game's too long and it's ever expanding. It'd be cool if they made an offline mode. I think they're working on that because I don't want to play with other people. But just make that into a single player experience if possible. But I think it'd be cool to release 15. I know they have the it's 15, right? The one that's on Switch, but they did the mobile edition. Whichever one has the car in it, I think that's 15. They should put that on Switch as well. Monster Hunter World should come to Switch. I think a lot of people assume Wilds is coming. Obviously Wilds is coming because Capcom doesn't want to miss out on money. But I also feel so many people loved World. It would be cool to port World on Switch as well. All the Yakuza games should come, and I'm pretty sure all the Yakuza games will come. There was a weird situation with the Yakuza games, apparently, I think it was the creator or something of Yakuza. He had some complaints about the Nintendo Switch or Nintendo or something. It was very odd, and then he went on to work for a Chinese company, I think. He left, and eventually Yakuza 1 came to Nintendo Switch, and I guess it did really well, so they're bringing Yakuza 0, and I'm pretty sure they're going to bring other Yakuza games 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, any of the spin-offs. There's a spin-off for the Samurai, and then Judgment 2. I'm sure all that's coming. I would hope that they come a little faster, maybe 2 a year, and maybe bring if there's a new one, just bring it over. I don't know how that would work with people that are already people that are starting to get into Yakuza just based on the Switch, and then they're like, hey, Yakuza 8 is coming to Nintendo Switch or something like that, you know. That might be a problem, but, you know, these games, I don't want to rush them, but, you know, also, you know, people should be able to get caught up. So maybe like 2 or 3 games a year will be good, and they'll be caught up in no time, like maybe like 3 or 4 years. If they do like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, Judgment, and like the Samurai one, or like the Pirate one or something, you know, caught up in no time. Tower of Fantasy, excuse me, kind of same thing, Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail, like similar sort of game. I played a little bit of this on phone and also on PC. Seemed pretty cool. I do feel like the Genshin Impact sort of games, like Genshin, Honkai, Zenless, the Hoyoverse ones, seem a little bit more polished than some of the other ones, but I could be wrong, but that's just kind of how it seemed to me. Finally, Halo. I'm not into Halo. Haven't really played that much of Halo, but I think a lot of people would like Halo on Nintendo Switch. So there were a few titles that I forgot to mention that I'll just be adding onto the end of the video here. So Persona 3 Reload. I own Persona 5. I've never played it, but I know Persona is seen as such a great series. I thought it was disappointing that Persona 3 Reload did not come to Nintendo Switch, but obviously it's coming to Nintendo Switch 2 at some point. I think that Atlas sees the value in putting their games out on multiple consoles, so I could see that happening. Assassin's Creed Shadows recently came out, so I could see that coming to Nintendo Switch 2. It seems like Ubisoft likes to get Assassin's Creed wherever they can. I know there's a few that didn't hit the Switch, so those will probably come to Nintendo Switch 2 as well. I've talked about this before. This is probably the Assassin's Creed game I'm the most interested in because, like, it's in Japan. It looks really cool. 2 different characters and stuff, so I'll definitely check it out at some point. So, Grand Blue Fantasy Relink. This is, I believe this is the RPG one that's on consoles. I think that's a good idea to put on Switch. It's definitely right up my alley. I like these games with like these sort of art styles, Japanese anime sort of art style, action RPG sort of games. I think it'll be cool. I know they have a fighting game as well. I'm not as big on fighting games, but you know, that could be cool. I know the game looks nice at least. And Visions of Mana, I played the demo. I played part of the demo on my computer. I wasn't huge on this. I don't know. It's not really a criticism of the voice acting. It was more so I didn't really like the voice acting. But I didn't get that far into that one. I know the studio shut down or something like immediately. Or was it even before the game came out or something? It was something crazy like that. Haven't played that much, but would be interested in seeing that as well. And of course, Grand Theft Auto 5. I'm sure people have their sights set on Grand Theft Auto 6 now, but just kind of like with some of the other titles like Monster Hunter Wilds versus Monster Hunter World, why can't we get both? I think Grand Theft Auto 5 should come to Switch, and I think it will do well. I played a little bit of Grand Theft Auto 5 on Xbox, and it's like playing a movie, so I liked it. I would like to play more. I know it's coming to Xbox again, but I don't know if I want to play it since they lost my data somehow. But I enjoyed what I played, and I'd like to see that on Nintendo so I can play more of that story. Anyways, those are the titles that I would like to see on Nintendo Switch 2. Please tell me any of the titles that I missed or any of the titles that you would like to see. And yeah, that's about it. Anyways, that's it for me. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like my content and want to see more, be sure to subscribe. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter and like me on Facebook. The links are below. I'm Sir11. See you next time, and peace out.